Women are upset. American men are too happy being bachelors in 2026. Quite frankly, it terrifies them. Let's get into it.
You know, I see why men are staying single because look around. We have women out here bragging about not cooking, not cleaning, not taking care of their home, not being soft, and not being supportive. And then expecting a man to show up as a provider, leader, planner, protector, and lover, while giving him absolutely nothing in return. And yes, I will be the one to say it. A home needs a woman who actually enjoys being a woman. A woman who takes pride in making her home feel warm and peaceful. A woman who loves her man in the same way that she wants to be loved. That is not oppression, that is care. Men are tired of being treated like a walking wallet. Tired of disrespect. Tired of begging for affection and a little peace. So, they are choosing to stay single, not because they hate women, but because they are looking for a woman that values her role just as much as his.
And a lot of modern women out there would like you to believe that men are bitter, men are angry, they hate women. All of the men that are saying they're walking away from dating, they're leaving dating, all of you guys are incels. None of you guys can get women. None of you guys can talk to women. You guys need to go outside and touch grass. I do touch grass. I go outside every day. I walk on the grass. I smell the grass. I'm one with the grass. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But most of the men have regular jobs. They go and they come back. Hey, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I go hang out with my friends. I have family, so on and so forth. But they're thinking that because these men aren't bothering with these women anymore, then all of a sudden they must be gay, they must be DL, must be sassy, or they must be an incel. They must be bitter. They must hate women. They must be misogynistic. No, I just don't want to be bothered with foolishness anymore.
And honestly, I don't blame them because relationships only work when both people show up and give.
Why successful men stay single? It's often the same mechanism that makes men savage in the workplace that also makes them extremely intelligent when it comes to women.
Yep.
For example, successful men know how to sniff out desperation and entitlement. Most women want their lifestyle, not them, so they become experts at sniffing that. They don't settle for less than they deserve because success teaches you that your worth is non-negotiable.
And this is one of the things that I continue to say. Modern women are thinking that they can just pull the wool over a man's eyes, especially if the man is making a lot of money. He's running a business. A lot of these guys are very sharp. I don't know why modern women think that they can outsmart this guy.
Sounds crude, but they prioritize purpose over... Purpose is for life. Pussy comes and goes.
A lot of men today say they are done with dating. They are staying single. They're out of the game, Kaputski, because they don't trust women. They don't trust women because women of today are fake. They have fake eyelashes, fake nails,
Losers.
Fake hair, fake bodies, even fake personalities. They feel like women don't really love men, generally speaking.
You know, just listening to her talk about this stuff and how she's saying women are fake this, women are fake that, and how women are willing. They talk about men and how men are such low lives, but some of these women are willing to go out there and get pooped on. Pooped on. How low can you go?
They see men as a means to an end. Just deal with men to gain something. And I guess it's similar when women say that they're done with dating because they don't like the nature of men, that they cheat, use women for their bodies, want women to stay in their place. Now, men are saying they want to stay single because they don't like the nature of women, that they use men for their money, use their bodies in a different way, as work mules, change my tires, go paint hair, move this here, lift this for me. So what are men asking for? They're asking for a little appreciation. They're asking to be loved for who they are, not what they can provide. They want to be seen. Now, is this unrealistic? Getting married. If they have resources and the woman decides she doesn't want to be married to him anymore, she could take half, even if she hasn't contributed to any of it.
There was a joke. He was serious, but he made it into a joke. I forget what his name is or was. But he went on the Johnny Carson show and he was like, man, I've been in this business for about 25 years now. Talking about being in Hollywood. I've been in this business for 25 years now. Marriage is the only business where you can bring in somebody and make them a partner and they get all your money and they haven't worked for any of it. And I said, I've been in the business for 25 years, right? I've had trouble. I've struggled. And, just a few years ago, I started having success, right? I came to your show. You had me on and I had a little bit of success. Then things didn't work out too well. And, I went somewhere else and had a little bit more success. And then my career kind of went down again. And now I'm having a little bit more success. And now you have me back on your show. And for the first time in a long time, in about 25 years, things are going right. And I'm making a steady amount of money, a good income. And you're telling me that at that point in time, I'm going to bring somebody in and say, here, you can take half of this. Absolutely not.
They don't feel it's worth the risk. Ladies, if you were a man today, would you date women today? Is it worth it? Do men have a point? Are they asking for a lot to be loved, appreciated, not used, to be seen? What do you guys think?
Want to know why men over 40 are staying single? I'll tell you why. Because society raised women to be wives to careers, not husbands. And now the men who were once overlooked are watching rebellion unfold and choosing peace over chaos. These ain't excuses. These are the raw, unfiltered reasons men are walking away from modern women, and many of them don't plan on looking back. You better watch this all the way through or keep wondering why that good man ain't calling you back. Let's set the record straight. This ain't about men being bitter. This ain't about men being weak. This is about men getting wise, men getting structure, and men finally realizing what marriage has turned into and what it costs when you choose a woman who ain't built for submission, peace, or purpose.
And once again, you hear him put the disclaimer in there. This isn't about being bitter. This isn't about men hating women. It's about restructuring your life. Once again, I saw a comment just a couple of days ago or so where a man said, this is a cost-benefit analysis. This is a cost-benefit analysis. Men are staying single because the risk is too high. The risk, it's too much. A lot of creators talk about this stuff. It's too much. You see people down in the comments. Nope, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I'm not doing it anymore.
And if you're one of those women thinking, well, maybe he just can't handle a strong woman, sit tight. You're about to find out he didn't lose interest. He gained clarity. First reason, divorce destroys a man's life. Older men have seen it too many times. Good men getting gutted in court. He loses his house, he loses his pension, his legacy, and she walks away with half his world for bringing nothing but attitude to the table. Why would any man jump into a legal system designed to reward rebellion and punish masculinity?
And what you're describing is logic. It's not math. Well, I guess it could be, but it's not based in emotion. It's not based in how I feel. It's based in I'm looking and I'm observing, and this is what's happening. Why would I keep on doing X when it leads to Y? Presumably Y being a bad thing. It doesn't make any sense. And modern women are saying, darn that. Forget what happens that might be bad. Just go for it. You only live once. Regardless of if you get your heart broken. That's what life is about. You have to live. You have to be alive. It doesn't matter whether I put you on TikTok. It doesn't matter whether I spread you over TikTok and ruin your relationship with everybody. It doesn't matter if I ruin your life. It doesn't matter if I get you fired from your job for harassment. Somebody from your HR company, your HR division, saw that and they bring you in, even though your numbers have been great, you've been a great employee for 20 years, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You, doesn't that just make you feel alive? Isn't that a sign from God that maybe you weren't supposed to be at that job and it's time for you to go out and find your new passion? It's time for you to go out and explore. No, that's not a sign from God, idiot. That's you acting stupid, getting me fired because you're a loser. That's what that is.
4 reasons why being a single man in your 30s is awesome. Number 1, you're actually attractive to women, okay? A lot of guys spend time in their 20s not feeling attractive to women at all, but if you work on yourself in your 30s, you're gonna be a lot more attractive to them. Number 2, you're less desperate for. The good thing about being in your 30s is you're not a complete horn dog all the time. It actually helps. 3, you have money to finally do what you want and you're not sweating over the check when the bill comes. 4, you have less pressure to settle down and have kids. This is one of the benefits of being a guy as opposed to women who experience a lot of pressure during this time.
And see one single positive argument for staying single today. We're having a cigar the other day with this guy when we did the live podcast. He's 35 years old, makes millions, but he doesn't want to get married. He says, it's too risky getting married today. I said, it's too risky getting married today. I said, man, it's too risky staying single today. Like, what do you think life is all about? Pulling up to a restaurant in a Rolls Royce? For what? Who cares? Those people that say, what a nice car, don't give a about you. Everything about life is investing in things that outlive you. Man wants to live forever, but we're not going to. The only way you're going to get a glimpse of living forever is by what you build. You have kids, you raise them properly, they continue your last name, you write a book, you make music, you make movies, you make something that outlives you.
True. All of this is true. Well said.
I hear you, Pat. I hear you, Ben. But I don't think most guys are going to go along with that. Most guys want to, once again, most guys, they want to be in a relationship. They want companionship. But 35 million, you're going to have that? You're going to have that? No, man. I can't see it. I can't see it. 35 million? No. That's 17 mil. Okay? 17 mil for doing nothing. I'm giving away $17 million. 17 and a half to be exact. And let's say the government takes half of that. I'm down to 8.5. Now, obviously, 8.75, excuse me. Now, obviously, that's not chump change, but it does something to a person's psyche, knowing that they work so hard to do something only to see that dream, all of that hard work, all of the payoff slip right through their hands like water, like sand. You pick it up and there it is. This is the exact reason that men don't want to get married right here. This is the exact reason that men are staying single. I know women are upset about it. I know these ladies get on here talking about incels and men being bitter and, you couldn't get a woman if you wanted to. I don't want one if they're going to act like this. If I got to pay you $100 to speak to you, I just said, hey, you remember the man that said, hey, in the grocery store, and the woman got online, act like the man said something wrong. He just said, hey. The man that was trying to do an interview on the street, woman said, give me $10 or $20 or whatever she said. It was something like that. Give me $20 just to ask you a question. Are you insane? That's loser behavior. That's manipulative. That's exploitation. Now, he didn't have to do it. I think he actually ended up giving her $10. He didn't have to do that. But why should you? This is foolishness. And for me, just $20, I could have gone and gotten a meal for that. Just here it is, $20, just to ask you a question. And you don't even say anything that makes any sense or even adds to the conversation of the interview that I'm doing. So I just really wasted money. That's really the only thing that happened. You think men want to continue to go through that type of stuff? You think men want to be around that type of woman? Absolutely not. And so if you're talking about not wanting to give $20 away, you think a man wants to go to court, have to pay all of her attorney fees? She goes and gets a high-powered lawyer, knowing that you're footing the bill. I mean, honestly, it's like food stamps all over again. It's like when people, because certain people, they get on it and they're doing the right thing by getting on it. But there's certain people out there that be on state benefits, unemployment, getting food stamps, Section 8 housing, all of that. Just giving it away. And that's essentially what a man is. He is the government to these modern women. Oh, well, no, you play. No, he's essentially the government to these modern women. Your wife, you come in, I'm not doing anything. I don't do anything in the house. Somebody hires me a maid, my husband. Oh, he makes enough money. We're going to hire a maid. Oh, he make enough money. He give me some. We go hire a chef. So you got people coming in to cook for you. You got people coming in to clean for you. You got people coming in to take care of your babies for you. Why, you have no job, by the way. You don't have a job. That's kind of the same thing as your daycare being paid for, and you don't go to work. You don't go to school. You don't do anything. Somebody paying for your food. You got a food stamp card. You just take his money and go shop for food. DoorDash every day. Go to a steakhouse when you feel like it and just blow money. Just blow money. Hey, me and the girls are going to eat. Again? Are you serious? These modern women are glorified. They're glorified bums. Anyway, I'm going to say something and get myself in trouble.
Well said, soldier.
Enough lonely single men in their young ages of like 20 to 30, right, with no family, no kids, nothing to die for, to stand for. You're going to have public tragedies keep happening. Soon they'll start targeting higher ups in government because, once the greed sets in from those at the top and they take more and more and more and you're left with nothing, then you'll really see the, quote, revolt everybody talks about.
Do you think men are happier when they are single or in a relationship? This question comes up because I got into a bit of an argument on Facebook this week because someone had posted a very long and detailed post alluding to just that fact, that men, when they are free to pursue their own goals and see who they want and hang out with friends and do all the things that they want to do, are actually happier than when they're in a relationship. And I agreed, because the reality is that men typically give up their goals and hopes in lieu of whatever she wants them to do.
And a lot of times you hear the woman saying what he's saying. Well, I give up everything. I do this, and this. And a lot of times, to be fair, you have a lot of women that have given up their goals, their dreams. I think I was talking to my mom just as an example, and she's pretty smart. And so she said when she was going for her master's degree, she said, well, I said, why didn't you? And she said, well, I had y'all. I had kids. So I didn't have time for it. And really, nowadays, you do actually have time for it because you have online classes. You can just go online and you can kind of finish it at your own pace, right? It might take you 4 or 5 years to finish your MBA, but you finished it. You did it. But back in the day, back in the 90s, they didn't have that. So there are some women, to be fair, that put their hopes and dreams to the side. But I don't think anybody ever acknowledges a lot of times what a man does. They don't really acknowledge a man's sacrifice and how he says, I'm going to go ahead and let my kids do this, let my family do this. It's the ultimate sacrifice that men make nowadays that feminists and these modern women are calling the bare minimum.
Of course, this led to a lot of arguments and a lot of hate from the women at me, which I am very much used to, which is fine. What I want to know is...
Here is why intelligent men stay single. At work, being logical is rewarded, but that doesn't work with dating. Women want to feel emotions. This means flirting, telling stories, and making her laugh. Only when you stir her emotions can her attraction for you grow.
Would you rather be married and miserable or single and lonely?
Single and lonely, as long as I have my money. If you not my thought process, I cannot have you around me because you're going to fuck up my life.
Can you be lonely and not miserable?
You can be lonely and have a blast. 9 times out of 10, when somebody tells you they're lonely, are they happy?
No.
Are they happy?
No.
I disagree.
Are they happy?
I've been lonely
I
and happy.
disagree.
You can be lonely and happy. You cannot be miserable and happy. It doesn't make sense.
When I'm feeling lonely, it's easier for me to feel loved if I go around people I love. When I'm miserable, I could be around y'all and I'm still miserable.
Wow, it's a good point. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. In my loneliness, I know how to get out of it. It's just another funk. I know how to get out of that. I know how to lock in. I know how to do what I need to do. If I'm lonely, I say, man, let me go hit up some of the bros. Let me get back in the gym. Let me see somebody who I can talk to. I can go out with. Right? I can fix that. But being around a certain person over and over again, I'm still miserable. So I'd rather be lonely with my money, with my life, because I know how to fix anything and everything that I need. But being around these modern women, no.
Look at the stats on who's happiest. The happiest people are single women and married men. They're the two happiest groups of people always.
Single women
and married men
are the happiest.
Are the happiest groups of people. Like, not married women. Married women end up doing all the jobs, and married women aren't happier than single women. Single women are happier than married women. And married men are really happy because they get everything done for them, basically.
Okay, so I'm doing my research here because I'm curious. And it says the happiest groups are married men and single women. Claim mostly traces back to the Paul Dolan's 2019 media run, widely circulated from a Guardian piece, where he argued women are happier without marriage/kids. Okay, that specific talking point got heavily challenged because it leaned on a misread of the American Time Use Survey, quote, spouse absent. And that data set refers to a spouse not in the household, not, quote, spouse left the room. And that ATUSA interview itself is typically done by phone. So the, quote, in the room framing didn't make sense. Interesting. Okay. Where married women fall with actual percentages, because I was asking about where married women actually are. Okay. And so it says one clean way to answer this is the General Social Survey 2022, where, quote, very happy measures ages 18 through 55, broken out by marriage and children. The percentages below are the share who answered very happy. Okay. So married women here, married women with children are at the top at 40%. Okay. We're just talking about women. Married women with children, 40%. Married women without children, 25%. Unmarried women without children, 22%. Unmarried women with children, 17%. So in terms of women, according to this survey, for ages 18 through 55, married women with children are the happiest. Then it's married women without children. Then it's unmarried women without children. Then it's unmarried women with children. Okay. Now let's go to the men. Married men with children, 35%. Married men without children, 30%. Unmarried men without children, 14%. Unmarried men with children, 12%. Okay. So it looks like, according to this survey, married women and married men with children are the happiest. And of course, married men and married women without children are the second happiest. Ladies, you're not that happy. Come on. If men have to admit that they need to work on some things, if men have to admit that their life isn't perfect, why come you don't? How come you get to say everything is perfect, I'm doing well, I'm thriving, especially without a man? But if a man were to say, yeah, sounds like me too. I'm building my business, I'm going to the gym, I'm hanging out with friends, then all of a sudden he's capping. Wow.
Women are scared of happily single men. You want to know why? Let's get into it. Being happily single as a man makes you more appealing.
Men that don't need to be in a relationship. Men that have high standards. Men that don't chase women. They chase in purpose. This makes women think, wonder if that man is actually interested in them, and will in turn, y'all listen to this, increase the value of that man and his expressed interest in their minds.
The rude awakening that men have needed for thousands of years.
I have 4 big things to say about this, but first of all, I'm not quite sure where this belief came from that if more women divorce their husbands, that these men are just going to believe that it was all their fault and they're going to grow and get better. No, there's never just fault on one side, and men know that. Second of all, most men that go through divorce end up losing a lot in the form of lost time with their children and financially through spousal support and child support. So many men just feel victimized by the court system. Thirdly, a lot of these men that get put through the ringer, they eventually build themselves back and they realize that they're a lot happier being single. It's actually a lot more peaceful for them. And fourthly and lastly, a lot of men never want to get married again, or in the first place, because they hear women like this talking about divorce as if it's some sort of punishment for her not being happy.
You know, modern women, they can't think long term. They really can't. I like what Emily was talking about here when she said men build themselves back. They eventually build themselves back. Because you have a lot of men, well, you know, I hear stories of a lot of men struggling. But once I get out of that phase and once I'm able to get back to where I was, now you have another monster to deal with because I've accumulated the resources. Now I have points of reference. Now I know where to go for specific things. Now I know what to say because I had to spend a lot of time researching it myself, doing it myself. So now when you come with the bull crap, I know how to hit you and say, oh, legally speaking, this is what I need to do. Cut her off over here. I already know your game plan because you think lazy. You're not an intellectual person. You're not a critical thinker. I already know that. I know that from our time being together, those last few years. It just seems like you just quit. When we first got married, it seemed like you were sky's the limit. But over time, I guess you wanted to be a passenger princess and in your soft girl era, and you just stopped thinking for yourself. That's where a lot of the problems started. You just became a brat. You became complacent in what you were supposed to be doing, what we were supposed to be doing as a couple, right? And so now, because you had the system give everything to you, you didn't really do any research. You just went in there, cried a couple tears, and yeah, that was it. And the judge felt sorry for you. But now that I've gone through everything, I've been put through the ringer, I had that same judge trying to put me through the ringer, trying to run me through this hoop and that hoop and all around in circles, jump through this hoop over here and run around over on this loop and all that stuff. I know how to handle you. I know how to handle your attorney. I know how to handle the judge. Every single person in that courtroom, I now know how to handle them. I know how to handle you outside the courtroom, what I need to say, what I need to record, how I need to frame it, which lawyers I need to get in order to win my case. And then that's when everything starts to change. And also outside of all of the legal stuff, me as a parent, I've grown. I've looked at my mistakes. I've seen where I could get better, where I can be a better father for the kids, where I can be a better person for the next person. Should I get married again? Should I find or seek a companion? I now know where my weak spots are, my blind spots are, and I've worked actively to take care of those. And so now when you come with the BS, wanting to play those games, especially around the holidays, that crap don't work no more. That crap don't work. And it's not going to work. Let me tell you, it's not going to work. You're a loser. My wife knows it. Yeah, I got remarried. My wife knows it. The kids know it. Oh, well, you turned the kids against me. No, I didn't. I didn't have to. They know you're a loser all on your own. They've seen how I've treated them. They've seen how their stepmother treats them, how her family treats them, how her family loves them, and my family still loves them. But you're a loser. You spend every waking moment telling your family and anybody who will listen how terrible I am, how I turn the kids against you, and you give them the same sob story, that you've been giving them for about 10, 15 years now. 10, 15 years. The kids done grown up. The kids are finishing high school. You got another one in college now. And you're still playing the same game. Oh, mom's still up to that same stuff. Dad, what's going on with mom? They say that. What's going on with mom? Oh, she's crazy, this, and this. They say that. Oh, Dad, we want to come stay with you. Now you know you're going to have to, yeah, we know we're going to have to work. Now, you know, I don't let you play around like your mama does. Yeah, you know, we still want to come stay with you, though. They say that. Because they understand Dad loves them, but Dad put in a structure. Dad ain't going to be bull crap with all this bull crap. Dad is going to do what he's supposed to. Hey, you get your books, then you can go play. Hey, you get your books, and then you can go to Kyle's. Hey, you get your books, you can go to Sharon's. Yeah, you can spend all week. Just let me know where you are. Turn your location on so I know where to find you. I don't want you getting lost out in the woods doing some weird stuff. I need to know right where to find you. Okay, Daddy. All right. Here's some money. That's what Dad's going to do. He's going to give you structure. And the bonus mom, as they call it, is going to come over the top. Hey, baby. All right. Mama loves you. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Oh, this is my stepmother right here. Sherry. Hey, how you doing? Gonna come over the top. And you gonna be sitting over there in your little cottage enraged because you was acting a fool. You had the upper hand, but you spent 10 to 15 years acting a darn fool. Instead of getting your life together. Instead of going and taking those anger management classes that the judge told you to take, still acting a fool. Modern women don't get it. They don't think that they have to follow the law. They think they're above the law. And when somebody says, no, you're going to do what you told. Legally speaking, after about 15, 20 years of bullcrap, especially when you get another judge on the case and that attorney then moved on to a different case and you got to hire a whole new team and you ain't got money but to hire somebody who's just beginning and they don't know what they're doing. And Dad just sitting over there quiet. Now you can get on Zoom. You don't have to go in court now. So you can get on Zoom. Dad over there sitting in his shirt and ball cap, you know, dressed appropriately now. You know, sitting in the ball cap, nice little button-up shirt. Well, what do you think, Mr. Smith? Well, yes, sir, Your Honor. The kids say X, Y, and Z. And, you know, Sharon, you know, she said this, and you know, Ryan said X, Y, and Z. So, you know, they seem to like it over here, and we try to do the best that we can. We try to put them in extracurricular activities. After school, they're in clubs. We're trying to get them ready for college. As a matter of fact, we just took Sharon over here to Texas A&M, and, you know, she really likes it. And we're going to Missouri next week and see if she likes that over there. And Ryan, he just started his freshman year, so we got a little bit of time on that, Judge. Okay, very good. Very good. Mom, what are you up to? Judge, this, please. Miss Smith, please. Miss Smith, please. I'm going to give you a fine, please. Because you can't control your tongue. You see all of that slipping away. You acted a fool, like I said, for 10, 15 years. That'll be your business. But stop this playing.
Why do men not approach certain women? Because y'all ask me all the time, how come I don't get approached? How come I don't get approached? Y'all, it could be so many reasons, okay? One of the reasons is because you already look taken. And a lot of times women don't realize if they look taken or not. Some women are or have been in long-term relationships where they just look taken. There are some women that look very single. There's some women that look desperate. So we have to understand. And also there's some that look so good, they can't afford you, but all they do is look and already assume that you're with someone very rich. Okay. So everything is different for every individual. If you're one of those women who are very beautiful, they may already think that you're with someone that has more money than them. Okay. This is why I tell you, if you're very, very beautiful, top of the line, and you have problems with people approaching you, you need to kind of downplay your fashion and your accessories. Because think about this. They don't think that you need them. They think you already got them. If you're full of jewelry and designer bags and designer clothing, they don't think they can impress you at all. But if you walk up in there with a Walmart purse on, a t-shirt, a denim jacket, and a nice pair of slacks and cute little heels, you don't look like they cannot upgrade you. You don't look like you're dating that billionaire. So you need to retire the designer purses and bust out the Walmart purses, bust out you a little casual but cute outfit that's not designer, take off all the jewelry, maybe one little dainty necklace, and look like they can do something for you because they already think you're taken and well taken care of, living in somebody's penthouse with a driver if you look that good.
There's only 3 reasons he would not approach you. Only 3. Number 1, he doesn't like what he sees. Just not interested. That's fine, because there's guys you ain't interested either, girl. Number 2, he wants to approach you, but you're not approachable. You don't seem to be open to being approached. You have this, stay the F away from me. And if you wonder why men are not approaching anymore, ladies, most of the time it's they hear a lot of this on the internet. Leave us alone. Get away. Yuck, ick. He was a loot. So they're not going to do it. And the more you have your RBF on, the less likely he is going to want to talk to you. It's just facts. Just a fact. Or 3 is he's too scared. But that's not your concern if he's too scared. All you need to do is put yourself in position. If he don't take advantage of the position and he's not an opportunist, then you must let that go. You did all you can do, girl. That's it. If you don't want to step up to the plate, all right. When he gets ready, when he grabs his balls and ready to play, he'll come back. Or somebody else will when they're ready. Or 3A to that is that he has a girlfriend. Those are the only 3. The only 3. Doesn't like it. Likes it, but you don't seem like you'd be open to it, so he's not going to. And number 3 is he's too scared, and he ain't got the babas.
Reasons men will not approach you. If you go out and men rarely approach you, you're doing it right. Contrary to what you might think, if you go out and you are constantly approached, you need to do the hokey pokey and turn your ass back around. Men do not approach what they feel they will be rejected by and what they feel they cannot afford. It's not your resting face. It's the fact that they know they cannot afford you. If you're feeling discouraged when you go out because men do not approach you, I'm here to tell you you're doing all the right things. The point is not to get approached by every man. The point is to get approached by the right type of man. And if you're sitting there thinking, I could really give 2 flying F's what men think, then this video obviously isn't for you. But let's not shame the women who are wondering why men aren't approaching them. Whether you want to believe it or not, a man will look at you and within the first 5 seconds know if he's going to approach you. He will do a full up and down, seeing, am I attracted to this woman and can I afford her? If the answer to either of those is no, he's not going to approach you. And if you're sitting there thinking, I'm always approached, oh my God, you look cheap, you look easy, and you look like you're going to say yes no matter what the hell they do. Getting approached by every man at the bar, club, or venue is not a good thing. One is better than all. Always. None, in my opinion, but if you want it, I love you.
A woman in the comments said, I would rather get approached by one amazing man than 100 mediocre ones. And you thought you ate, Sandra. You thought you ate, Sandra S. Because these men are not approaching, period. Whether they're good men, amazing men, mediocre, it don't matter. They're not approaching.
Why does a man stare at you but never approach you? I made a video talking about this before, but some of you are new here, so I thought I'd spin the block. So the first thing to understand is that if men are going to do anything, men are going to stare. I always tell you, the same women that a lot of women are programmed to desire love and relationships above all else, that is the same way that a lot, if not most men, are programmed to desire before all else. So the first thing a man is looking to see when interacting with women, and often almost subconscious, is whether he's attracted to her. Now, men are cheap hoes, so it's all based on face value. And the thing about women in men's eyes is there's so many of them. There's so many different types. There's so many different heights. There's so many different weights. There's so many different skin tones. There's so many different accents. There's so many different eye shapes. And when it comes to men want to try every variety in as many different mixes as they can. And yes, men will sleep with you because they find you attractive, but it's not even just the surface level attraction. Ladies, let me break it down for you. A man might want to sleep with you because you're tall and he's short and he just wants to see how it is sleeping with a tall girl. You might be bandy-legged and a man might just want to see how it is sleeping with a bandy-legged girl. You might have big lips and a man might want to see what it's like with your lips. Like, I'm being very intense here because I want you to understand how crude of a level men think about them. So by higher programming, a man will always be looking to see if something attracts him. Maybe not with the conscious thought, but that's just how he's programmed. So men look straight. Men look at you even if they think you're dating, they will look. Now, another reason a man might look but not approach is because he is not allowed to approach. So maybe he has a wife, maybe he has a girlfriend. Side note, there are some sleazeballs who have a wife and girlfriend and are not supposed to look and not supposed to approach, but do so anyway. I'm not talking about those ones. But God is watching you. Anyway, a lot of men in relationships who don't necessarily want to cheat on their girlfriends or in a position where they can't in peace will look. And because they're getting that same energy back from you, they will want to cultivate that energy even though there isn't an actual conversation there. Because one thing men love being around is energy. They love being around females for that energy. So if you are having that energy with a man, even though he knows it's not going to go any further, some men enjoy being in that energy. Another reason men will look but not approach is because they want you to approach them, honey. Jesus, when are you coming? They want you to seek them out, ask about them, ask, who's that? Oh, who's that? Or, find out, research them or slide in their DMs or like their page. They want to instill that in you. So they feel like staring gives you enough juice to be fired up to do that. And a lot of the times, what's behind that is men know they're setting you up. So they know that they just want to experience you, but they don't want to pursue you because then it's like they pursued you. So then they look that bad guy. But if they let you pursue them, then when it happens and everything's done, but they're like, you came and spoke to me, you came and did this. Or they have a partner that, they're not supposed to go out and look for, but then they will give you enough juice through the staring so that you approach them. So then when you find out what you find out, or when they tell you, I'm in a relationship, they can be like, but I didn't approach you, you approached me. So it automatically gives them like this get out of jail free card. Now, men will try and hit you with but what if I'm shy? Oh, so you're going to let her make you not approach and then you're going to miss your blessing. Women want to be equal. Women want to be equal now. Baby, if you don't go chop a log of wood and stop yapping. Women, let me tell it to you direct. Men want you to shoot your shot at them because they think then that you are more open and you are going to be quicker to get in the bed. I don't know if that's true or not, but the fervent desire for which men want to be approached makes me think that it is. Let me tell you, as women, we do too much to be shooting our shot. These men are not doing enough to be sitting there waiting for somebody to come and shoot their shot at them. If you watch my videos, I always say women are who men think they are. It's so funny. Women do everything that men do and then more just by their biology. So the having the babies, the time of the month, all that, but then also paying the bills, navigating a house, looking after a house, looking after children, going to work. Everything that men do, women do. So, and it's so contradictory because men will say they want to be approached, which, let's be for real, is beta. Then as the approach of the woman becomes an alpha, then they will say they don't want an alpha woman in the home. They want a woman who's submissive. And make up your mind, baby boy. So women, the first thing you need to understand about men is they are always contradictory. So you guys be coming on my page talking about, this contradicts what you said in the other video. I know! We're talking about men. It's always going to contradict. But it doesn't mean those two things can't be true at the same time. The reality is I am very scared, as should you be, of a man who takes the rejection of a simple no thank you, I'm not interested, so to heart that it has broken him to the fact that he can never approach another woman again. It's giving you need therapy because it's not that deep. But women, we're falling for it every single time. Stop shooting your shot at these men. It is a dangerous game you're playing. And yes, I know there are some women who have shot their shot and life is good. But that is why I always say, and I'm saying it right now, to end, there is always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you.
You know, I wish that these modern women would just admit that they're losers and be done with it. We can have a seminar, we can have a conference about it. We can sit up here and talk about how the sky is blue and the moon is white. Talk about sun in the desert. I guess cold at night. But it still don't matter because men ain't approaching. Will they stare because of this? Well, they stare because I wrecked my Ferrari. A cat bit me on my behind. That's why they staring at me. They're not approaching. Men don't help me because of this reason. They saw I ate McDonald's and so they don't approach. Men are intimidated because I make $25,000 a year. Whatever you want. At this point, whatever narrative you want to write that. Whatever makes you happy, say that. You could be lying. You probably are lying. But whatever makes you cope and feel better and gets you through to the next day, do that. Do that. I mean, you're lying to yourself. The delusion is going to break at some point in time because you're going to have to be a person that lives in reality. But go ahead, man. Do you. Be happy.
There's a difference between how guys approach women. Black men, especially young black men, will approach anything walking. Okay? Other races of men, they watch you first. They make sure you're the type of woman that they are interested in. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to pounce on you because they're so desperate. You know, they're going to wait until the right moment, until the right da-da-da-da-da-da. And then once they say, okay, well, I see her walking around. I think she's cute. You know, I've seen her a few times. I think she's nice. Maybe I'll approach. Or they could be worried about what other people think because they're still in school. They're still impressionable. They're still young. And they may not approach based on who their friends are and how they grew up. So the best thing I can tell you is get off campus. Get into the real world. If you're old enough to get into certain places, go there. Stop messing with students. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go get you a professor. I bet you they'll holler.
But Shira, you're married to a black man. You're married to one. So I guess what you're saying is he approached anything walking. So I guess you'd be at anything that he approached. And now that I think about it, there are reports and rumors that she was a side chick. She was his side piece. So I guess it's really true that he did approach anything walking. Well, you approached him. And you were so desperate for money, you said, yeah, I don't mind taking it from somebody else. I don't mind him leaving. That ain't gonna make me no never mind. Losers, man.